If you're only going to read one book about careers, make it this book. Hey there, it's Adam at Smart Cut Careers. And today I want to talk to you about the book that changed everything for me when I think about careers. And it's this one, So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport. You might have heard of Cal Newport. He's a best-selling author who has written, among other things, a book called Deep Work, and another book called A World Without Email. He is an excellent resource if you're thinking about productivity in the workplace. But this book is kind of unique among the books that he's written. The subtitle of this book is Why Skills Trump Passion in the Quest for Work You Love. And it changed my whole mentality about careers. Now, as the subtitle indicates, Cal Newport takes issue with the idea that passion is a good place to start when you're planning your career. I've talked about that elsewhere in another video, so I don't want to dig too much into it. But if you're not convinced, watch that video. And if you're still not convinced, read some of the arguments that Cal Newport makes in this book. He has some great case studies of people who are passionate about certain things. They pursued a career in those areas, and they later realized that it was a mistake. They didn't necessarily want to have a career in that area just because they felt a certain way about it. So, if you're not going to focus on passion as a way of planning your career, what should you focus on? Newport makes the point that what you should focus on is fulfillment. What kind of work is going to make you feel satisfied? Passion is a problematic place to try to determine fulfillment because it's emotional. It could change. You might not be passionate about the same thing in the future, or you might not like the way that the career you choose actually makes you feel about that passionate emotion down the road. Fulfillment is something that you can develop when a job has certain qualities. So what are the qualities that lead to a fulfilling career? Newport mentions 3. I had a hard time remembering these, so I came up with a little acronym. Okay, S, C, and M. So here's my goofy acronym. You have to scheme your way to a fulfilling career. What do these stand for? S. The S stands for skills. And this is one of the most significant themes that surfaces throughout Newport's book. It's in the subtitle, Skills Trump Passion. Skills are something that you have control over. Skills are something that you can develop. Skills are something specific. They're often measurable. They're the kind of thing that employers are looking for. They aren't vague. They're not emotional. You either have them or you don't. The C stands for control. When you are choosing a career, when you're deciding what career to pursue, you want something that will give you a reasonable amount of control. Many people are unhappy in the job that they have because they have no control. They're given no ability to make choices. They have no authority. It's completely outside of their hands. So finding a career in which you can assert a certain amount of control, where you're trusted with a certain amount of choices, where there's some significance to the decisions that you make and the things that you do, that will make you feel more fulfilled as well. And the third and final part, the M, stands for mission. In order to be fulfilled in a career, you need to feel that the career has a guiding principle, a mission, a goal, something that you can continually work towards and feel good about. If you've ever worked somewhere where you felt like there was no mission, no goal, no purpose other than just to make a paycheck, you know how unfulfilling that is. Newport makes the point that thinking about these 3 qualities and the extent to which a career offers them to you is a way of gauging how fulfilled, how satisfied you're going to be in that career. If you are in a career currently and you don't have any of 3 of these, you don't feel that you are skillful at your job, you don't feel that you have control, and you don't feel that there's an underlying mission or purpose to the job, the chances are high that you are very dissatisfied. And if you choose a career in the future, and even if it's lucrative and you have a high level of job security, if you know or you even suspect that all three of these qualities are going to be absent, there is a very high likelihood that you will be unhappy. If, on the other hand, you have at least one of these things and you have it in rich supply, let's say maybe there's no control in your job, and maybe there isn't even a mission, but you're very, very good at what you do. You have a lot of skill. Oftentimes, just having this one quality is enough to make your job satisfying and fulfilling. So if you know for a fact that a career you're pursuing will offer one of these in a great amount, that might be enough. You could be fulfilled and satisfied in that job. It could sustain you in the long run. If a career ends up offering you two of these areas, maybe you're highly skilled and you're given a fair amount of control, you have autonomy in that role. Even better, if you have 2 out of 3, the chances are you're going to be quite fulfilled, quite satisfied in that career. And of course, if you can get all 3, if you're very good at the thing that you do, if you're given a reasonable amount of control or autonomy, and then the career has a great mission that you can get behind, something that you feel good about, something that you think is bigger than just you. If you've got all 3, outstanding. That's the best kind of job. That's the kind of role in which people typically feel the most satisfied, and they can typically do that job for a very long time. Newport ultimately argues that what people really want when they say they need a job that they feel passionate about is simply a reasonable level of happiness and fulfillment. And he says that the best way to guarantee that you'll have that kind of fulfillment is to focus on the abilities that make you an asset in that job. He calls this career capital. The idea that the skills and the abilities, the competence that you develop that will make you really good at a particular job, that these are like assets that you want to develop, cultivate, and keep so that you can then use them to promote yourself into a job situation, and you can ensure that you will be successful in that job situation, ideally at the highest level possible. This book earned a permanent place on my shelf. It sits in my office. I see the title on almost a daily basis, and it reminds me that I need to be good at what I do to the best of my ability, that I need to have a certain amount of control over what I do to feel satisfied, and that I need to feel there's a deeper purpose for the work that I'm doing. Now, if this book sounded interesting to you, I encourage you, go find a copy and read it. I think it will make a big difference as you're planning your career. If these concepts that form the basis of Newport's book are interesting to you, this idea of skills, control, mission, if these are interesting to you, keep an eye on my upcoming videos. I'm going to break these down one at a time and get into more depth, how to develop these and how to factor these qualities in your career planning and decision making moving forward. If you like this video, please subscribe so I can keep creating more content to help you think about careers and how to grow your ability in a job that you find fulfilling.